thank you guys for all joining today because this is going to be a really good meeting. And I get a lot of questions and a lot of calls about CRMs and how to grow your business. So I'm really excited that you guys are all in here because it will definitely help you. Like Justin mentioned earlier, through the end of the year, this is a great time to start building that CRM just with the holidays coming up and kind of not being able to see everyone face to face so much because everyone does get busy at this time. This is going to be awesome for you guys. So this is a right step in the perfect direction.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone jumping on, taking the time out of your schedule. Again, like we keep saying, this is the time of the year to start ramping up, getting things organized, to finish the year strong and just start the year, with those things that we want to actually have our business. We're so focused and it's difficult because we all know we wear so many hats in this business, but we have to take the time to actually work on our business. How are we going to grow? We have to take ourselves out of the equation per se and actually work on the mechanics or the internals of the business to make sure that our systems are in place to help us. Automations can be set up, just organization in general. And really, we're going to talk a lot about the CRM today as you not losing business, right? There's money on the table. And I'll give you a quick story. There's a good friend of mine and very successful agent in terms of she probably does 40 to 50 million a year now. So good production, but she never set up a CRM. Okay, so she was just chasing internet leads. CRM was never updated. Data was never good. She had no idea when her clients last closed, right? All those little data points that we may not think is important, but I'll tell you this, a couple years ago, we sat down. She's like, I can't chase leads for the rest of my life. She's, approaching, older years that she doesn't want to work as much and, business still come in and referrals and stuff like that. So we went through and started getting all of her past deals. We started there. We started just getting her closed deals from the last 24 to 36 months. Now she's been selling since 2003. So you can imagine she's had a lot of sales and just data. So let's just start with the last 36 months. So we sat down, we started going through these, and it was quite devastating because the amount of deals that closed, and they ended up selling with somebody else because quite frankly, did not stay in touch with them, right? They forget. We hear it all the time. There's how many agents in this industry? And it's just a matter of opportunity of, they ran into an open house or somebody at work was reaching out to them and they just forgot that you were in the business. And we did not do our part to, stay in touch with them, give them, just keeping them informed. Hey, I'm still your agent. This is the information, for you or the updated market or whatever it is that you're communicating with them on a consistent basis. So it was very heartbreaking and devastating to see that she's lost tens of thousands of dollars in GCI because, it definitely was in six figures that she had lost because the market turned, home prices went up, people were like, I'm cashing in, all that good stuff, and kind of lost out on the opportunity. So when we go through this, again, if something resonates with you, please write it down and implement it into your business. A lot of this you may have heard, maybe you haven't, but I tried to include some best practices and stuff that you guys can use going forward. So hopefully everybody can see the screen. We're going to go through a couple of these slides here. I'm going to minimize this so that I can see. If you guys have questions as we go through, or you just have, certain input or something that you want to add in, feel free to unmute yourself or throw it in the chat box. Would love to have this interactive so we can all learn from each other as well. But a CRM database, your biggest asset in this business. That's not just my opinion. That's the opinion of a lot of different experts in real estate in general, but then also just in business, right? Look at how important a database is for a company like Target, how important a database is for, a company like for Ulta, right? Retail was my previous life. So those are a couple that I've worked with, but if a database is that important for very successful businesses, Amazon, okay, why is it important? Because they know that they have to stay in front of their customers because there are so many options out there that we have to stay in front of them and remind them that we are here for them. And not just buy and sell with me. I'm here for you. Here's the update on the market. I'm here for you. This new business just moved here. I'm here for you. Our local economy. I'm here for you. These are the 10 best hiking spots for you to take advantage of in different content like that. But why is the CRM your biggest asset? So it's always important, but even more so in challenging markets. You don't want to discount how important this is to the longevity of a real estate business. Sure, if you want to continue to chase business, continue to chase those leads and not take the time, the little bit of time that it goes in to make sure that they're into your database or your CRM, that the data that's in there is accurate, right? First name, last name, email address, phone numbers, anything that you need to add in there, anniversary dates for the homes, birthdays, as much information that you can possibly have in there will help you stay in front of them. And investing in a CRM for your business is used correctly will pay for itself many times over. It will save you time, energy, prevent missed opportunities like I just talked to you about, and deadlines, and ensure consistent outreach to your clients and contacts to produce a steady flow of new business. The majority of transactions that occur are from repeat and referral business. Now, when I say majority, we're talking well in the 80%, okay? And so if the majority of transactions are repeat and referral business, we need to make sure that we are staying in contact with them, right? And not just chasing those leads. Again, we talk about longevity. It is exhausting to continue to just chase leads and not actually, close a deal and then not keep in touch with them. It gets very, very expensive and time consuming. So my question to you real quick, and you can throw it in the chat box if you want to participate, but are you an agent that has the last, we're say 24 to 36 months of your closed deals? Is it in your database, some type of database? Now, I'm not saying it could be Excel for today's example, but do you have your past 24 to 36 sales that you've done in a database? First name, last name, email, cell phone number, property address, their mailing address, right? So you can easily create those labels or you can communicate with them. Do you have that data in there? And if the answer is yes, when's the last time that you've effectively communicated with them, right? When's the last time that you sent something of value? Again, it doesn't have to be buy or sell. It can be a quick video on, just touching base, or maybe their home anniversary or a birthday or anything like that in there. So step one is, do you have the data in there? Is it accurate? Some of you may say no. Stephanie, you're brave. You said no. Cool. Ed said yes. Tom said yes. So I empower you guys to go back into your closed sales, your MLS, and make sure that you have all of those closed deals in there, right? We're start there, the closed deals. And then from there, you want to make sure your sphere's in there, right? All that good stuff. So we'll dive a little bit deeper into that in just a little bit here. If you want to grow and scale, like we've been talking your business, you must prioritize an infrastructure that organizes leads and contacts while also strengthening relationships. So this isn't I joke about Excel, but that's a great starting point. But there's so many CRMs out there, and many brokerages actually include one in with what you already pay. So if you want one with them, or you go out and purchase your own, there's very non-expensive ones out there. But not only is it an infrastructure to organize that data for you so you can easily target market them, right? Things like we're talking about your open house leads. Are those grouped together so you can effectively communicate with them? Your past clients are going to get a different message than those open house leads. Your seller leads or seller prospects are going to get a different message than your buyer prospects, right? Everyone, it's not a blanket for all. The beauty of organized data is you can target market those and give them a message or communicate with them that's relevant to them, as opposed to just always, here's a market update, right? You can really tailor it to them. Maybe a new property is coming on the market and that's going to go to a certain group of those contacts. But not only does it allow you to organize those, but it also strengthens those relationships. There's a lot of CRMs that have automation in there. You can have a holiday campaign, something that goes out to them. It's less about the content, more about the consistency of communication. Okay, I want to make that very clear. It's less about the content. There's over the several years I've been doing this now, one of the big things that always comes up in agent meetings is the content. And of course, you want to make sure that you have solid, valuable content that's relevant and accurate. However, we shouldn't be spending the enormous amount of time creating that content when there's so many different things that we could share with them. It's more, you're going to win more with the consistency. So for instance, if I'm agent A is going to, send something out every single week, and they do it for 6 weeks, and then they, just goes to the sideline, as opposed to an agent that's going to send something out once a month and they do that for 12 months. Agent B is winning, right? That consistency is going to win, as opposed to sending something out this week, 6 weeks later, sending something out. And then, you're just, when you think about it, right? That's when we do this. When we think about it is when we're actually going to send it out. So what I encourage you, and you've heard me say this before if you've been on one of the trainings, is schedule time with yourself. Schedule time on your business. All these different pieces that we talk about. So it's on your calendar every 2 weeks. CRM cleanup, CRM just time in your database to make sure data is correct. Is there anything I need to add into it? Have I met? Maybe it's one. I would do it once a week, but because you really should be in your database daily. But maybe once a week you do an audit and hey, how many people did I communicate with this week, or did I forget to add in there? I just had an open house. I need to take that list if they're signing out on a piece of paper still. I need to make sure that they all get in there quickly so then I can follow up with them, right? But we only typically do it. And I understand it because I'm also licensed and worked for teams, and I understand the pain points, but we have to be able to do it when it's fresh in our hand, as opposed to a month later, oh yeah, I need to get these open house leads in there, whatever it may be. So again, the power behind it, it's an infrastructure that helps you organize your prospects, group them in certain groups. Organized data is key, and it allows you to strengthen those relationships through consistent communication. Consistent communication. Let's talk about some of the data points on here. Okay, so 82% of all real estate transactions come from repeat and referral business. So as opposed to investing, this is where I always encourage you guys to start first. Before you want to spend money on traditional farming or generating pay-per-click leads or Facebook ads or anything like that, do you have a solid database in place? Do you have a process in place? When you meet somebody new, how long does it take for you to get that person into your database and organized? Okay. 88% of buyers and 84% of sellers would use their agent again or refer them to others, right? If they would do that, that's because we're staying in constant contact with them. We're being consistent with our communication. So as you guys are closing these deals, right, all your past clients are your little marketing warriors who are going to go out and promote you if you gave them an amazing experience and you're staying in touch with them. That's key, because the majority of those clients would use you again or refer you to a friend or relative, which is powerful. Okay. This is going to be, money wise, time wise, this is key. 92% of consumers trust recommendations from friends and family above all other forms of advertising. So those numbers there tell me absolutely I need to make my database priority. Absolutely, I need to communicate with them consistently so that they are out there marketing for me, and they're doing it basically free, right? Because you gave them a great experience, you're giving them valuable information, and at the end of the day, you're staying top of mind, right? As opposed to those where you close a deal a year later, you remember and you're like, oh, I need to do something or send it, right? That's too long. We have to be a little bit more organized in that. The typical agent earns 42% of their business from repeat clients and referrals from past clients. Okay, so almost half of our GCI comes from that alone. However, and this is what the story I told you guys earlier with that agent that didn't have a database, or we went through and she lost a lot of GCI. But real estate agents lose typically for our industry 20% through attrition. 20% of our clients annually. That's sort of a big number, right? So the number one reason cited for this loss was a failure to stay in touch with their clients. failure to stay in touch with their clients. Again, a database, huge asset to your business. It will allow you to stay organized, and it's going to allow you to consistently stay in front of those that are in there, prospects, past clients, all that. So optimizing your CRM for longevity. Let's talk about some of the pillars here. So building your database. What does that look like? We're going to talk about that more, right? You should always, you see that little chart in the bottom right corner, we should always be growing our database. Maybe it's 5 new contacts a week. Go into your database. The more contacts that you have in your database, the busier you are going to be if you are communicating with them, right? We're filling up your ecosystem. We're getting more people into your ecosystem and adding into your database so that they're in the mix of what's happening. And when it's well organized and well communicated to, your business is going to grow. Economically, the best route to go, since the majority of business typically comes from repeat referral business, opposed to going all in right away on internet leads or anything like that, which convert about 2% if we're lucky. 2%. Now, obviously, 2% is, there's still a huge chunk of money in that 2%, right? If we're talking nationwide. So I'm not saying PPC or internet leads or anything don't work. They obviously do. They generate a lot of income. However, just for the big picture, 2%, if we're lucky, gets converted. Optimizing your CRM and organizing your contacts, just like what we talked about, right? I'm going to give you specific groups or tags, names to add these contacts in. Are they new contacts? Are they past clients, right? We're talking a lot about that. Managing your relationships. This is the key, right? Managing those relationships allows you to take notes. These CRM and databases, they allow you to have important information in there about those contacts. Maybe a couple that just bought a home and you sold it because they're having a kid and a baby, and now a year later or whatever, maybe you're friends with them on Facebook and you're managing that relationship, and at that year you are like, can you guys believe it's already been a year? That means whatever the baby's name is the first year, whatever it may be, right? It allows you to manage those relationships. It allows you to take notes. Maybe they're outdoorsy people, hiking people, so maybe some stuff you're going to send to them is targeted more towards that, right? All that data matters. It's important. And of course, staying in touch with your people. A database allows you to consistently stay in touch with them through lots of different automation. Maybe there's property alerts. Maybe there's holiday drip campaigns. You go in and create different campaigns for it to go out on a whatever basis it is, monthly basis, every 2 weeks, whatever it may be, but allows you to stay in front of them and in touch with them consistently. So let's dive into them a little bit more. So building and growing your database. One of the first questions most agents ask when implementing a new CRM is, who belongs in my database? Okay, and the short answer is everyone you know. Okay, so this could be past clients, current clients, prospects, personal friends and acquaintances, business owners is a huge way to grow your business and to include them into your database. Local business owners are powerful, and I've seen a lot of great success in partnering with them. Whether you're hosting something at a local coffee shop or you're asking them to promote them in your newsletter and they're offering a 10% discount on coffee or yoga, or what's the bike thing that's huge right now too? Spin class. A lot of different local owners and businesses would love to partner with you. And I think that's one demographic or group that we typically forget about to include in our business and database. So business owners, huge opportunity there. People in your professional network, like agents, whether it's fellow agents and brokers or feeder markets. Okay, so we talked a lot about feeder markets. What are those markets that are moving to your market? Right. So in Phoenix, California is moving here, Washington, Illinois, those places. So for you guys, once you figure out where those markets are, add those agents into your database as feeder markets so you can stay in touch with them and increase your referral business. Right. And most agent information is all public info. So you can simply make a goal that, this week I'm adding 5 prospects to my database. In addition to, I'm going to add 5 agents from feeder markets that I'm going to build a relationship with. So when their clients are moving from their state into my market, they remember me and they refer me to that business. And then of course, internet leads, open houses, right? So different lead sources. Maybe one group is going to be internet leads, pay-per-click, Facebook, and the other could be like open house, something like that. In addition to that, maybe you're farming as well. And that farm list, if you get phone numbers and emails or whatever it is, addresses, you can add those in there as well. So these are just some examples that who should be in your database. Again, short answer is everyone that you know. Don't be afraid to have other agents in your database as well, in the sense that you're going to be collecting referrals. Okay, so you really want to look at that as other feeder markets, not necessarily sending your everyday marketing to your past clients, but more keeping them updated why people are moving to your local market, why businesses are moving to your market. Talk about property taxes, talk about different things that may affect their client, or just keeping them updated so that they can refer you that business. All right, and always be thinking about adding to and growing your database. So again, I keep talking about it, but I want you guys to set a goal this week for the rest of the year, and that way you can build the habit going into the new year of how many new people are you going to add into your database each week. Is it 5? Start with 1. I mean, you can only grow from there, right? Start with 1. Maybe it's 5 new contacts a week. Maybe you're like, oh, this is kind of easy, right? Because I meet a lot of people. I'm always out. I'm at the grocery store. I'm at the amount of conversations I've had in a drive-through Starbucks because I was wearing my real estate name tag was crazy, right? So we're always meeting people. Your hairstylist, your barber, your accountant. Think of all your vendor partners per se, right? So accounting person that you work with, local business owners that you know, all those good stuff. You want to make sure you add in there. So you're setting a goal of X amount of new contacts to your database each day, week, or month, whatever it may be, and then you can divide it up to how you want to track that, whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly. Remember, more conversations lead to more opportunities. So you want to make sure that you're adding those people in your database. Let's see here. You time block to work on and in your database daily. Just like prospecting, your database is a growth factor. Okay, so you have to schedule your time. We have to go from a mindset of I'm going to do it when I think about it, or I know it's important, I'm going to do it, as opposed to this is on my calendar and it's just as important to get this accomplished and done as it is to going on a listing appointment or a buyer consultation. Okay, because these are all growth factors that go into your the overall growth of your business. Okay, so time block and schedule it on to your calendar. Anyone you talk with or connect with, make sure to add them into your database. Send a follow-up note via text, email, or physical mail if possible to build that relationship, right? So maybe I see a lot of handwritten notes, quick handwritten notes that can be sent out, or a quick text that can be sent out, or like something that can be dropped in the mail in there. And introduce yourself to local businesses and connect with the owners. Just like I was saying, add them to your database. Work with them on promotions or collaborations that you can do. You will become their go-to real estate referral. Leverage people who have large networks. Okay, there's only so many people that we know, and as we're meeting new people, we're kind of expanding that network. We're expanding our web of who we know and our little marketing warriors that are out there promoting our business. So, that local coffee shop, if you go in there and work often, you're going to start to build that relationship. Or if you're doing spin class, communicate with that manager or whoever works there, who owns, right? Get that connection. Local organizations, whatever it may be. If you know anyone who owns a business, or you want to start collaborating people who own a business, you just got to reach out and start making those connections. Because here's the thing, certain things will start to happen. Maybe you're like, oh, let's do a promotion. We can collaborate and do a promotion. Or, I'd love to do a video. And Julie, I'm not sure if you're on the call, but she's also partnered with some local businesses doing video content. And that's powerful because at some point, they're going to start sharing that same video, right? And now it's being shared on their social media. Now it's being shared through their network, and you're increasing your brand awareness because of that collaboration, and you're, expanding that network of who you can actually reach. leverage businesses and people who have larger networks to grow your database. Okay. They will start to refer you that business. All right, let's talk about organizing. That's always a fun one. Organizing your CRM with categories and tags. So some example categories. Now, not all CRMs, I say that, but most CRMs should allow you to create categories or tags. If you are going to go the Excel spreadsheet, and I don't recommend that long term when I say that, I just mean initially to get all your data organized, it would be a great idea. But these are some examples, and most databases or CRMs are going to allow you to categorize or group certain contacts together. So maybe certain categories may be new, right? Those are brand new, you haven't talked to, speed to lead, right? Those are, you just got it in, you're adding it to your database, you have to reach out to them, speed to lead, and try to qualify them. Even if it's a referral, the amount of times we know referrals is probably the easiest conversion in this business. However, don't be the agent. That still takes time to reach out to them because you think or know that you have it in the bag, right? Everyone deserves the same experience. And you want to make sure that you deliver on that referral, right? Those marketing warriors that we talk about are out there promoting you, and then they give you a referral. And then the last thing you want to do is tarnish the name of who referred them to you and all that stuff. So you want to make sure that even if it's referral, speed to lead. Another category would be qualify. So they're new, no matter where they came from, maybe it's an open house lead, and you try to reach back out to them, didn't get a hold of them, now they're in qualify, okay, because you haven't had a full-blown conversation with them. And then once you have a full-blown conversation with them and you've dug a little bit deeper to figure out what their goals are, then you can decide, are they going to be hot, nurture, or watch? Hot would typically be 0 to 3 months out, right? That 90-day mark where they're ready to go. Okay, that's kind of like your A buyer. There's nothing really they need to do. They've already been pre-qualified or they're ready to sell, right? There's not a factor there's not an occurrence that has to happen before they can pull the trigger on selling or buying, okay? Nurture maybe 4 to 6 months out, okay? They're still looking, they're deciding what area they're going to, whether they're going to stay in the state, out of state, maybe they're still going through the pre-qual process, whatever it may be, it's going to take a little bit more time. And then, of course, watch 7 to 12 plus months out. Definitely something needs to happen before they can actually pull a trigger, but we're going to watch them and still communicate with them on a consistent basis. And then maybe in your database, you have pending, which it will show all of yours that are under contract. Again, these categories are so that you can easily filter through when you're going through and working your CRM. So you go into your database daily and you pull up all your news and here's the news you need to call or qualify. Okay, I need to reach out to all these qualifies today, or let me take a look at how my nurture is doing, right? As opposed to just having it maybe written on a board or on a piece of paper or just on an Excel that you can really filter through. And then, today from 7 to 8 or 7 to 9 or 8 to 10 or whatever it is, I'm going to focus on my nurtures and watch or my qualifies or whatever it may be. And again, pending, you can simply just see what you have in your pipeline in escrow, what's going through. Closed, of course, these are ones that obviously closed, successful close of escrow. And now you can pull those up and you have more data on them so you can update the address if you needed to and all that stuff. Archive and trash are, some CRMs may allow this, may not. Archive would be haven't been able to reach, but good contact info, meaning that that's really going to be towards like internet leads, most likely is what I've seen. And let's say that you've reached out to somebody 10 times, which sounds like a lot, but guys, remember, psychology tells us it takes like up to 7 times for people to start paying attention or take something serious. So you got to keep reaching out, right? Don't reach out 1 to 2 times and think it's a bad lead or that they've moved on. We all have busy lives. We just have to continue reaching out to them until they tell us no, right? So you got to keep doing that. But archive would kind of push it into a category where I haven't been able to reach them. I've tried several times, 10 times, and I'm going to throw them in archive. And then archive will get some type of email communication or something from me maybe once a month, maybe once a quarter, okay, depending on how big that list is. And then trash, of course, just bad contact info. That's really the only thing that should be in trash. If the phone number or email is good, you absolutely should put that in a different category. But if it's just bad contact info, or uh, most CRMs will have a separate category or bin for unsubscribed as well. So those will kind of go in a separate category. Some example tags, okay? So categories is kind of like the flow and process of where they're at in buying. Tags are going to be more towards so you can pull up certain leads or prospects that you're targeting. So for example, like past client, right? So this is where I would recommend you go in the previous 36 months and make sure you have all your past clients in there. If all your past clients are in there, and here's the thing, guys, when you start going through this, you will see that they ended up selling with somebody else. There will be situations where that did happen. It's just inevitable in some situations, but you want to make sure you go through in those past 36 months you have in there. Once your past 36 months is in there, then you can go through and add the year before that, 2 years before that, three, however long maybe you've been in the business. Now, if you haven't set up a CRM and you've been in business for 20 years, something you sold 20 years ago is going to be irrelevant at this point. But definitely the last 3 to 5 years, I would focus on. Maybe go 7 years if you wanted to, but 3 to 5 years is where I would start for sure. Open house leads, right? Those are going to get a different communication or different message than all these other ones that we're talking about. Farm, right? You want to tag all those 200, 300, whatever farm size you have should be, tagged as your farm, so that when you go in to pull up those contacts and maybe you're going to call them or email them or send a mailer or something, you can just filter and only have 1, 2, 3, whatever subdivision or farm area, zip code, whatever it may be, that you can pull up. And of course, sphere of influence, right? Your additional marketing warriors there. Any Facebook leads, maybe you're generating leads from Facebook, so you want to tag them as Facebook leads. Your Google pay-per-click leads, if you're doing those. You can even tag as price point. We used to do that when I was the sales manager for a team, because the beauty of certain price points that we sold or that they're looking in, and then something's coming soon on the market and it's coming soon at 900,000 or whatever it is, and I pull up my price point that they're looking at, and I have 17 people in my database looking at that price point, I'm going to quickly and easily just email them that or reach out to them and say, hey, I've got this one coming on the market yet. From the last time we spoke, it fits in your price point. What are your thoughts, right? Just allows that to be a lot easier. And then, of course, if you have certain geographic locations that you're targeting, you can add that in there. That's kind of similar to your farm as well. But in general, tags can help you quickly pull data contacts to target market them. Again, messaging is going to be a lot different to your past clients to prospects. It's going to be a lot different to those open house leads that you met, Facebook leads, things like that. Facebook leads are going to be a lot different than those with Google leads, right? Google is intent. People are searching homes for sale in SoCal, homes for sale in Laguna, homes for sale in Costa Mesa. Those are intent leads because a person actually searched that in the search engine and then your ad popped up. As opposed to a Facebook lead message is going to be a lot different because they're just scrolling and seeing your ad. There was no intent behind that, right? We're just taking the chance of targeting geographic locations that we know that are moving to a certain area that will, fit that specific need in terms of, are they looking at your listing or are you just trying to capture them as a potential buyer lead? So again, in your database, when you have organized data and categories and tags, it allows you to grow your business because you can target market those people specifically with anything new that comes to the market or any new messaging that you're going to send their way. So I can always share this with the team if you guys wanted this example for later on to go through as well. Managing relationships. Okay, so the celebration doesn't and should not stop just because a deal closed. This is probably the biggest struggle I think that I've seen with agents is just managing relationships in general, because again, we wear so many different hats, we meet so many different people all the time that we have to be able to leverage technology and process so that we can stay organized and really grow those relationships. So part of building that relationship extends beyond the closing. You should be strengthening that relationship and staying ever so slightly on their mind year round. Okay, so again, don't be the agent that when you think about it, oh, I'm going to send something out, because it will happen not very often. Add it to your calendar, add it to your schedule, add it to something that will remind you consistently to communicate with those relationships. Whether it's phone calls daily, it's a bi-weekly email, a monthly email newsletter, something you're physically sending to your clients, past clients on a monthly basis. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that's scheduled on your calendar so that it is a consistent process. And we've heard this before, like with farming. Relationships are just like, well, not a vegetable garden. That's a misspelling in there, but just like a vegetable garden, okay? You need to constantly maintain your database for optimum output. You guys are putting in all this information, right? You're putting in all this information, and we need a good result in the output. So if you neglect it for a few weeks, the weeds are going to start to take over and it will seem overwhelming to clean up. And this is where I encourage you. If you're a newer agent on the call or you're a seasoned agent, okay, today, take the time to focus on your database. If you don't, it will become increasingly overwhelming to get a handle on. Just like the example of the agent that I worked with, trying to clean up her database and getting all the data in there and organized. It is so time consuming and nobody wants to do that, but it's such an important piece of it. So if we, tend our garden daily, just like our database, if we're making sure and we're auditing it and we're taking the time, if you're in it for 30 minutes a day, even just cleaning it up, 15 minutes a day, whatever it is, it's going to be a lot easier to keep it organized. And just like a garden, if you neglect your contacts, your real estate business will suffer and eventually start to die. And that is where that constant chase of new leads is happening, as opposed to leveraging your network and getting more referrals and repeat business. So if you want to go from chasing leads all the time to changing the percentage of how much of your repeat referral business you get, or you just want to increase your referral business, you have to manage the relationships that you guys have. You have to manage those people that you meet, those marketing warriors. Change your mindset that I'm building this relationship because they're going to be out marketing for me. So I'm going to nurture that opportunity. I'm going to give them valuable information, and I'm going to be here for them for if they ever have questions, so that they can turn around and promote me to everyone in their network. Staying in touch with your people. Okay, so new active leads and contacts. Maybe it's weekly communication. These are just examples of things that I have found in my experience working with several top producers and teams that works effectively. So your new active leads and contacts, they get weekly communication, whether it's call, email, or text. Okay, maybe it's you're switching it up. It's one time it's a call, the next time it's an email, next time it's a text, whatever it may be. With text, I just want to be clear, be respectful, okay? Here's the thing with marketing, and any marketer would tell you, we as marketers tend to ruin things because we overuse it. So text is one of those things, just like email was extremely powerful, still is powerful, but it was a lot more effective, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever it may be. Let's go 10 to 15 years ago, okay? And now we get so many emails that it can be overwhelming, and a lot of times things can get missed. Or with all the different things, it can be set up as spam, or it goes into the spam box, whatever it is. With text, you just want to be respectful. They're not getting a daily text. They're not getting a weekly text probably, right? Maybe they're getting a monthly text or a quarterly text, whatever it may be. Just make sure whatever you're texting, if it's a mass text, that it's valuable information, okay? Value first. Past clients in Sphere, right? You're communicating with them monthly or quarterly. So with past clients, we have found it very successful sending a direct mail piece, a tri-folded letter of some sort, in a colored envelope, meaning that it's maybe a shiny gold envelope, maybe it's a red envelope, maybe it's a black envelope, something other than a postcard going to your past clients in Sphere. Now, I wouldn't recommend that for necessarily farm, right? Because you don't really know those people yet, okay? But those that you have a relationship with, we have found it to be very powerful and personable that you send some type of direct mail to them. And in that direct mail, maybe you're promoting a new video that you created via a QR code that they can scan to learn, what's happening, the events, or whatever it may be. Okay, but we have found success. I've used red envelopes, I've used black envelopes, I've used shimmery gold envelopes, all from Amazon, very inexpensive. A stamp goes on it, tri-folded, gets sent. It's 100% open rate. 100% open rate. It's not like a postcard. Okay. And those past clients, your marketing warriors in your sphere, deserve that, because then it feels personal and you're taking care of them, and they're more likely to, of course, refer your business. Email you can talk about. We've heard about pop buys, right? Those things that you can drop off. Those are awesome for past clients. Maybe a text or a video that you're sending to them as well. Maybe for Christmas or holidays, something you're sending a quick video via a QR code. Okay. It's hard how you can take technology, right? Internet things, and put them into physical form is through QR codes. So if you guys do, instead of sending, an email out for Thanksgiving, maybe in that email, you're including a video, or you're sending a newsletter out for Thanksgiving or October, whatever it is, or New Year's. And in that little tri-folded letter or whatever you're sending is a QR code linking to a video, right? Makes it a little bit more personable. They see you face to face. Again, that few extra steps makes huge difference. It's less about the content, like I was talking about earlier, more about the consistency and overall experience through context. So context is it valuable? Is it relevant to who you are sending it to or who you're marketing to? Okay. And don't focus so much on the content, focus more on the consistency. You will win, guaranteed, with consistency, not just in this business, but in life in general. Okay. So consistency should always be priority, valuable content and context on a consistent basis. And once you have your contacts organized and on a list, search for them on social media platforms. Okay, this is another way that you can indirectly stay in front of your sphere and past clients. Social media is powerful in the sense that it often gives you birthday information and allows you to connect as a human. So if you start being friends with people on social media, don't forget, with your clients, social media, you're supposed to be social, you're engaging, you get to stay in touch. They see your information, you get the benefit of maybe birthdays, and also you get a little bit more insight in their life. Maybe you sold them a house and 6 months later they adopted a puppy or a child, or they had kids, or they got married, or those are all positive, and try to keep it positive, but maybe something tragically happened in their family. It allows you to reach out to them, give your condolences, give your congratulations, whatever it may be. But it kind of keeps you in the loop of what's happening with their life. So then you can take note of that and obviously, again, manage that relationship and connect with them as well. So don't be afraid to connect with your past clients, sphere, people that you know on social media. Again, these are free platforms that allow you to connect with your people at a deeper level. It allows them to learn more about you, and it allows you to learn more about them and easily stay in front of them as well. So very powerful there. And of course, staying in touch with your people to continue, make it personal for them. Maybe you're sending them a nice bottle of wine or champagne to celebrate milestones, and wins are great, but what if they don't drink, right? So maybe when you're building and managing that relationship as you're going through this, you learn that they don't drink, or maybe they're more outdoorsy people, or maybe they love the beach or biking or travel or books, like reading, games, like whatever it may be, right? So keep that in mind as you guys are building relationships with new people. Learn more about them. Go back to that Ford method. Okay, remember what the Ford method is? Family, occupation, recreation. What do they like to do? Dreams. Okay, so family, you're learning more about their family, digging questions. Cool. Have you always lived here? Is most of your family here? Or are they in other places, right? Occupation, what do they do for work? Learn more about that. Maybe you guys can connect on that level. Recreation, what do they love to do for fun? What do they love to do in their spare time? And of course, dreams and aspirations, we all have them. What are their dreams? What are their goals? It allows you to connect with them and give them a better experience. So during the entire process, you should be getting to know your clients and building a relationship so that you can tailor gifts, as in closing gifts, whatever's allowed in your market. Okay, I know California is a lot different, but whatever that may be, or experiences around their own interests and preferences. Okay, we're tailoring it to them. You can even send them a curated list of gift options for a right occasion, but don't forget the personalized message, right? Gifts are great, but stories are forever. So again, maybe you're going out to eat with them or a celebration or some sort at that closing. Those experiences are so much better, more powerful, and allows you to build that experience so that when they turn around and refer someone to you, right? It's a better human experience all around. Don't forget the human part of our business. All right, things to talk about. Before investing money into generating online leads like Facebook, Google, pay-per-click, or any advertising or print, ask yourself, have I invested in my network of those who already know and trust me? Those marketing warriors. Have you invested into that? And that goes hand in hand with your database and CRM. Have you invested in technology and process that will allow you to invest into those who already know and trust you? Do you communicate to your past clients on a consistent basis? Some say yes, some say no, right? We can all be better at that. Do you communicate to your past clients on a consistent basis? And we have a fear of annoying people. We have a fear of annoying people, but when done correctly and with genuine, valuable content, our message is well received. Okay. So a lot of times agents be like, oh, I don't want to send an email once a week. Well, cool. Like you have to make sure that's comfortable for yourself, but don't be afraid that you're going to annoy people as long as you are providing valuable content. Okay. Now, if you're just constantly saying buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, right? Yeah, that can get annoying, right? If it's on a too consistent basis or too frequently, that's why you need to mix in other things that have to deal with your market in our industry. Talk about, home maintenance tips for those that own a home, right? That's not annoying. That's valuable information. That's helpful. New businesses that are moving in or laws that affect real estate, anything like that. You want to make sure that you go in and it's valuable content. So don't be afraid that, of who you, how often maybe you're reaching out to them is more opposed to just make sure that the context and content there is valuable. Real quickly, Carmen asked, am I going to recommend CRM apps to consider? So yes and no. So when I developed this training or coaching session, I always get that question, well, what's the best CRM? And you've heard this before, most of you have, is it's the one that you're going to use. So there's so many options out there. And that's the problem with this industry is there's so many shiny objects that we're sold every single day. And really, most CRMs are going to offer relatively the same thing. Now, user interface is important. Okay, so if you've used a certain platform and you go in and you don't like how it navigates, it's clunky, it looks dated, it's not easy to navigate, that's probably not going to be the CRM for you, right? I've learned through coaching and working with a numerous amount of agents that if you're not comfortable with it or you don't like the interface, it's going to be more complaining than doing. And we want to avoid that. So, certain platforms that I've used in the past, I'll go from low end to higher end. Low end LionDesk I loved because they were one of the first to integrate video into it. I personally like the older layout better because I think the newer layout, and I haven't used it in a minute, so they could have updated it. But when they updated the layout, it was a little bit harder to navigate. So I saw a drop off on the agents that I was working with on them actually using it. Boomtown is more geared towards teams, but a beautiful, easy to navigate platform. A single agent version of that, but more expensive than LionDesk would be Real Geeks, which is a great CRM platform that I would recommend for that. Chime is another one that single agents can use. It might be $100 a month, a little bit more. It depends on what it is on there. But again, research some. You can always reach out to me and I'll send you a list for you to take a look at. But when we talk about different CRM apps or platforms to consider, it's really going to be one that you feel comfortable with. Do a demo. Ask for that demo. See if they allow you to see the inside of it. See if it's something that is clean or easy for you to navigate, so that we use it. Because here's the thing. Like I said, we get sold shiny objects every single day. And we get sold that the CRM can do this, this, and this. Yet when we go into it and it's hard for us to use, we're just not going to use it. And then it's all for a waste. So you want to make sure you're comfortable with it for sure. All right, real quick. Don't just stick people on an email drip campaign and forget about them. Instead, meet them where they are, whether that be via phone, email, video chat, Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Okay, you can change it up periodically, so your messages or posts don't get caught in the noise and ignored. So don't just throw them on a drip campaign and think that's enough, especially if it's past clients or your sphere. You want to make sure that you're a little bit more personable with those. And again, that's why certain CRMs that have notes and things like that, you want to make sure you're taking those. And that's why connecting with them on social media is powerful, because you get to learn more about them. You get to engage more. So sure, maybe they got your email that was sent out this week, and then you just saw that they adopted a puppy or something, and now you're commenting them on Facebook. Congratulations, whatever it may be. And that's staying in front of them, right? They're like, oh, that's Justin. He was our agent, and that was so nice of him to reach out. Whatever it is, right? Building and managing that relationship. If you don't know where to start, I encourage you to pull all your past sales from your local MLS system and start with your past clients. Okay, pull your past clients again. 24 to 36 months. You need their name, first name, last name. You need the address, obviously, phone number, email, and then try to connect with them on social networks. Start there. Start with your past clients. Make your past clients priority this month. Get your past clients in there and organize. And what are you going to send out to them, right? We're gearing up for the holidays. This is when agents send a lot of things out. So maybe you want to skip Thanksgiving and you go to New Year or whatever it may be. Maybe it's less about the holiday and more about spending time with family or outdoor activities or whatever it may be, right? You're trying to get through that noise, but make your past clients priority this month. If all your past clients, at least the last 24 to 36 months, is not in your database somewhere, make that a priority this week. Get them in there and then send something to them meaningful, okay? That was the last slide. That's a lot of information, guys. Hopefully something resonated with you on here. Hopefully just taking the time to organize your database or taking the time to communicate to your past clients. Maybe you're adding in some of those different categories or tags, whatever it may be. But as we get into Q4 and going into the new year, highly, highly recommend you take the time to have an organized database so that you can communicate with those people that already know and trust you, your little marketing warriors out there, so that they can refer you more business. Guaranteed that when you start communicating with them consistently, they are going to send you more business, and that is good for everyone involved. Kurt said Line Desk is work to use and cumbersome. I agree. They have changed their interface and user experience. So me personally, it's a little too clunky. I'm an Apple person. So if you're an Apple person, it's, to us, in my opinion, it's more clean and easy to navigate, as opposed to like Android and Microsoft have a lot more features. And in terms of, I don't want to use the word clunky because I still use those platforms, but there's just a lot more involved, right? Clean works for me. Maybe clunky works for you. It's up to you. But there's a lot of other different platforms out there. Again, if you guys want a list, I can always send you a list. Just email me and I'll be able to get you a list that you can actually take a look at and investigate. But start with an Excel sheet. Start there. Just first name, last name, the property address split up. Okay, this is important for CSV files. So first name should be in one column, last name should be in another column. The street address, 123 East Main Street, should be in one column. City, state, and zip in separate columns. So cities in one column, states in one column, zips in one column. Email address, one column. Phone number, one column. Okay. Because when you do that and you organize it and you go into import it into a system, make sure that you are, organizing it in a way that it can be imported in there. Any questions on database or CRM in general? If you guys email me, remember I work for a sister company in Arizona and California. So when I put my email in here, and I'll copy the sales team as well, Tom, you know what I'll do? I'm just going to send the list to Tom, and him and the team will get it to the people that have joined this meeting. So I'll make sure to get everyone that list. That way it's consistent, and your sales executive can get that to you. So I'll get that to Tom today. Cool. Any other questions on database organization, leveraging it? Again, I told you a lot of information today. If something resonated to you, please write it down, schedule time for yourself. I'll get you guys that list so you can take advantage. You want to make sure, exactly, Stephanie, you just got to get in and do it. That's the thing. We are in go time for the end of the year and preparing for the new year. And truly, 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 please, 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 take your database and CRM important, right? Take it serious. If you want to be in this business long term and not be chasing 24/7, grow your network, allow others to be your marketing warriors. So definitely, George, I'll get you guys that list for sure. And I will be releasing October's trainings this week. I'm going to get that over to the EOG team this week and update it on the website so everyone can get that for you guys. And just like Tom said, don't forget, we hope to see you guys in escrow very, very soon. Escrow Options is your best option. They are providing an enormous amount of value for everyone and truly give you and your clients celebrity treatment for your transaction. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Hopefully make it productive, capture some new contacts, grow your database, take the time, and we will see you guys very soon. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Take care.